Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
I feel that was very loud. Looking at my wave, it was giant. I was sorry about that, people. What's going on? Hey, everybody.
It's Big Voice Dave coming at you live.
That's right.
Another week.
Drive Time Dave.
Barry, are you close enough to your microphone?
I am.
You seem a little low.
No, well, I, on my wave, I'm nice and big.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I'm coming at you live from the Annex, the Regular Joe's podcast studio Annex. I feel very out of place.
Oh, that's right.
Room.
Yeah, you're out of the office at the moment.
I'm not in my normal studio, but I will be back in there next week. So
I wonder if it'll be echoey next week.
It might be a little echoey because it's not going to have a carpeted floor anymore. But I've been looking at area rugs, like Death Star area rugs or stuff like that. So we'll see.
I was going to say, why do you want a rug? Because you can get a Star Wars one.
Yep.
So we'll see. Yeah, my office, for those keeping score, we've probably talked about in the past how my office has gotten water in it in the past. We did a very extensive drainage work around my house, and it's been dry now with all the last storms. So I'm finally redoing my office, getting new flooring, painting it. It's going to look nice. And it's going to be bright. So the collection will be easily visible now. I put more lights in.
And you could write it off because it's a podcast expense.
Of course, it goes. All of that big fat podcasting cash that we make is going to pay for the renovation.
It just goes against those profits. Yep. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
good. This week, okay, we're going to talk about a bunch of trailers. A lot of trailers came out within literally the past week. So we're going to talk about those, all of our favorite stuff, or our favorite genres.
Yes.
The jury's on whether it actually
we'll determine whether these trailers are some of our favorite things, but the genres are right.
I'm worried about three of them.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I know we'll get to that. I'm worried for different reasons for three of them. One I'm not worried about.
It's good. We're teasing it, so people have to stay tuned.
I would safely say that this one I have no concerns and a tremendous amount of excitement for. But yeah, I
bet it's the same
I
one
think it is
that
too.
we're thinking of.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And I think one could be one could be a train wreck and one could be disappointing. On the other hand, they could all be great.
This is true.
They could be.
They all have greatness in them.
Who's this optimist and what have you done with my friend Dave?
That's right.
But I want them to be great. I always want them to be great.
No, I know. Unfortunately, I'm at a desk where I don't have my crystal skull. Otherwise, I might be holding it up right now.
Yeah.
No. That's wanting them to be great and making believe they're great.
Yeah, aspirational improvement. You know, it's like that's not the same thing as retroactive improvement.
You want them to be good.
You look at these things and they all
pretend that they're
have
good.
Potential.
Yeah,
they all have potential. There's some things like we're not going to talk about Star Trek Prodigy. It has no potential for us.
Wow.
This is the old adage of nobody sets out to make a bad movie or a bad TV show. It just sometimes it happens.
Some people do. Some people really do. I think. Well, I don't know if they do, but they did. What was it in that movie? They set out to make a really bad movie. Oh, that was sort of the producers.
It was the producers. Yeah.
A musical with Hitler. I mean, come on. Who
wouldn't want that?
For Hitler and Germany.
Okay,
you're gonna make a musical with Trump.
I would argue Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
Well, but that was by design, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He set out to make a bad movie because he just had to check that box.
Yeah. Well, there's been others. Anyway, let's go random. Barry, what do you got?
My girlfriend, Haley Atwell, has been cast as the voice of Lara Croft in the new Tomb Raider animated series.
First of all, your girlfriend is, what's her face?
Listen,
Evangeline Lilly.
You can't have them both.
I have many girlfriends, and yeah, she's apparently going to be the voice of Lara Croft in the new Tomb Raider animated series for Netflix. So it makes sense she's got the right voice for it, for sure.
She does.
I just watched like 30 seconds of Lara Croft, the new one. I love Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
Was very cool in that role.
Yes.
But I'm glad I didn't have to see the whole movie. This was not great.
Well, what's interesting, because I have seen that whole movie.
Oh, I have two. I have two.
It's based on the more recently updated version of the video game, and it was some of those scenes in the movie were shot for shot right out of the game, which was actually kind of funny. Having played the game and watching the movie, I'm like, that's right out. That's like a cut scene out of the game. But yeah, she was a more realistic, we'll just call her a more realistic version of a female as Lara Croft. She didn't have the exaggerated bodily features, but she was good as Lara Croft, I thought.
I like her, and I need her to do something more that we'll see her in. I don't know what she's up to. I don't remember seeing her in anything after that movie.
Yeah, I feel like
no, she's been in a bunch of things.
All I ever watch her in is Ex Machina. It feels like
Ex Machina.
Yeah,
but she was in. Wasn't she in? She was in a Bourne movie.
Yeah, she was.
Oh.
I think she wasn't. She in the. What was it? It was a remake. Henry
Crystal?
Cavill was in it. It was a Man from U.N.C.L.E.
You mean
she was in Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I think she was in that.
Oh, she was. I'm just looking through her.
I'm
thing
just
right
pulling
now.
up her IMDb now.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Tomb Raider too.
Oh,
okay.
all right.
Oh,
The
I thought
Green
that's
Knight,
what you're. Oh, yeah. I thought that's what started this. Yes, there's a Tomb Raider too. Yeah.
No, she the Tomb Raider we're talking about is an animated one.
Right. No, but I'm saying I thought that's what brought her up was that.
No, what do you mean animated? It's not animated.
That Haley
The
Atwell
Netflix one is the Haley Atwell one.
Oh yes, yes. Never mind.
Remember where this conversation
I'm sorry.
started?
We're off of English women and onto Danish women or whatever, wherever she's.
Yeah.
Where's she from? Is she Danish? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I like them both.
I like Danish.
Todd, what do you got?
Okay. Not much. James Gunn posted a picture on Twitter, which I thought was very, very awesome, of a stack of storyboards that he just finished doing for
12-minute scene.
Yes, for the
See,
first
Swedish. Sorry, Swedish.
yeah,
Go ahead.
for
sorry.
the first 12 pages of the speech for the script for Guardians 3, which is coming in 2023. And that is I think that might be officially the first thing in 2023 I'm excited about.
Oh, I said you're excited about.
Yeah.
There's 5 movies coming in 2023 for Marvel, they say.
No,
But
there's
this is
5
the thing
movies
that I'm, like I said, at this point, I am jazzed for that. So
Yeah, I didn't know if we were going to talk about it. I screenshot the Marvel schedule between now and Guardians 3.
Yeah, I had that. I wrote it. See, a little different than you. But yeah, there's 5 scheduled for 2023. The only 2 announced are Ant-Man and the Wasp and Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Right, but even if you just look at from where we sit right now until the end of next year.
There's a lot.
You got Eternals and Spider-Man both coming out before the end of this year. Doctor Strange, Thor, Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and the Marvels all next year.
Yeah.
That's a lot of movies.
Are you going to see any of them in the theaters?
I hope so.
Have you? I brought up the subject of going to see Shang-Chi, and Pam was like, I don't think we're going. I'm like, look, we got to go sometime.
yeah,
But we were going to
yes,
try to go tomorrow night, and now I don't think we can.
yeah.
Can't go on a Friday night. Oh,
tomorrow's Thursday.
I think having seen it, I'm going to try to go see it again this weekend. But you should see it in theater. It's.
I want to. I may have to go
but
by myself.
Dave,
Wait
it's
another,
probably,
like, 3
Dave,
weeks,
it's probably
it'll be on
theater. It's probably
HBO.
smaller than your
be on Disney.
theater room, but it's
Is it coming to Marvel October 18th? I thought I heard that.
It was supposed to
I
be
don't know if that's a
45
rumor.
days from its theatrical release, so we're already
Interesting.
3 weeks into it.
yeah. I think it's great, and you should see it. And by the way, it's Shang-Chi.
Okay, so Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. I've said Shang-Chi since the 1970s. It's Shang-Chi.
Kotobukiya,
Shang-Chi,
Kotobukaya.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But now that they're actually saying it, if they're saying it, they're saying Shang-Chi.
I'm gonna try to see it.
I heard an interview with the director, and he was very clearly pronouncing it Shang-Chi. So,
Yep. It actually, there's a joke in there where his basically the name that he's adopted and he's living under is Sean. And and he gets called out for, wait a minute, your fake name is Sean and your actual name is Shang? It's like, wow, how much thought did that take? You know.
So I know in the trailer, there's that you see the fight scene on the bus, so it's no secret that there's a fight scene on a bus. The director said that they spent a month filming that one scene.
Jesus,
it is amazing. It is the best Marvel fight scene on a bus. Previously, that belonged to Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, when she.
How many other
but
ones?
But now this is by far better than that. So, yeah,
cool. I have a quick one, and then another one. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. There's going to be a Grogu balloon.
Oh, sweet!
He's got a balloon in the Macy's. I may actually tune in just to see that.
I wonder if it's going to be realistic Grogu or like cartoony Grogu.
I think it can go either way. My guess is cartoony.
Yeah.
I saw a rendering of it. It looked cartoony.
Okay.
I hate when they make unrealistic characters.
I know. It's the worst.
Don't you hate that?
Yeah.
Also, HBO Max is going to have a Penguin spin-off from the Batman that hasn't come out yet. That's in the works. So a Penguin... they've described it as sort of a Scarface, as he's like this crime lord kind of deal. Interesting. I don't think Burgess Meredith is in it.
He is not.
Or Danny DeVito.
Or Danny DeVito.
I only recognize one Penguin.
Yeah.
Burgess Meredith. I just watched Rocky the first one. He was really old even in that one.
Yes. He was really old even in that.
And did 3 more.
You sure it wasn't like a Wilford Brimley thing where he just looked really old even though he wasn't that old?
He may have been. Maybe he was 75 in that. I mean, Anyway. That's all I got. Anyone else got more random?
I just got one quick one, and this is, I think, not confirmed, but it sounds like it's kind of confirmed. They're saying Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be playing Kingpin in the Hawkeye show.
Yeah, it's. I've really looked for that on something that I really trust.
No, I know. I couldn't find it in a completely confirmed state either, but it's being reported quite a bit.
It is, but they all cycle back to the same thing. It's all the same. If you read the things, there's always, like I said, it's always the same original source or lack thereof. I think it would be awesome.
Do we need that? I don't know. I wouldn't mind him showing up.
I think he was
I don't know
great.
if Hawkeye needs that.
I think that because it's taking place in New York and because he's dealing with the crime syndicates in New York, it could be cool.
Yeah.
And I would rather they bring D'Onofrio back than recast it. He was great in that role.
Yeah.
I just don't want them to pull like, oh, this is an important character. It's going to be like the Joker in '89 Batman, all about him.
Yeah.
And Hawkeye needs his spotlight. And we'll talk about Hawkeye soon. So we'll see.
You know who else needs their spotlight?
You know who else needs their spotlight is Fanboy Collectibles. Thank you, Barry. I was trying to give with something a little different, but excellent segue. Fanboy Collectibles, Bandai, this Ronin, Mandalorian, and Grogu. Those things are interesting mashups sometimes, but I thought it looked cool with the Grogu in his little sort of wooden cart, and the armor was all.
Yeah, that
cool
armor is really cool.
That. Yeah. There's a bunch of Marvel DC Plus pops. There's a Wanda one. There's a couple Mando ones. Those are cool. You can get you get Hot Toys, Callie Atwell as the cartoon.
The What If Captain Carter.
What If Peggy Carter deal. That's up for pre-order. There's statues and there's sideshow and there's everything you need. Check those guys out. FanboyCollectibles.com or their store in Newtown, Connecticut. Tell them the Regular Joe sent you. Okay. We're going to talk about trailers. So I guess there's 4 trailers we're talking about.
Do you want to watch the one that you just watched because it's most fresh in your mind?
Yeah, okay. I just watched the Picard one. I got to say, I knew we had that teaser with Q, and I was very surprised by this. I got to say, Picard was It was I'm very excited by this trailer. I mean, I think it sort of has a bunch of tropes. Part of it, when he says, "Oh, we got to go back in time" or whatever, it feels like that's freaking X-Men.
We got to save the whales.
No. It is that, but the way he said that reminded me of when they went back to Days of Future Past. It's almost like the same thing, but there's totally time travel and voyage home and all that. I'm excited if they do this in 10 episodes. I think Barry's laughing at me.
I'm not laughing at you.
You think this?
I'm with you. I did not love season 1 of Picard. I liked it. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Time travel again? We've got everything has been put out of whack. We have to go back to the past and save the future. Like,
yeah, why not?
We've seen
When's
this
the last
too many
time we
times.
did that?
Yeah, but we also have a reason why they have to. I mean, they have an omnipotent being that just knocked things off the rails. They've got to go back. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I think I think it could be interesting. I mean, this is, let's face it, this goes back to, Assignment Earth. I mean, this is just almost a Star Trek tradition. Going back in time.
But they're going back to the 21st century. They're driving cars. It's like,
I know it's a little much.
Which they did in again the original series. They did it in
Name Your
Home,
Star Trek show.
Voyage Home.
They did it
done it a million times.
in First Contact.
They did it in Enterprise. They did it in Enterprise. They did it in Deep Space Nine.
You're making my point. They've done it too much.
But I feel like the stakes aren't as high because it's like, oh my God, we get a Star Trek movie every 3 years. They're going to go back and rehash something. It's like, here's the show. I feel like they took a step back and said, you want to know? First season was kind of shitty. Let's just put in everything people love about Star Trek and put it in a bowl and mix it up.
I hope
and
that's
hope
the
it
case.
works.
I'm going to be, cautiously optimistic with it, and I hope it's good. I also think that, and I think we said this last season, and I feel like just from this trailer, Patrick Stewart looks really old and frail. Like,
he does look really old, and Patrick, you're awesome and everything, but is he playing old or is he really just that old?
He just looks very.
How old is he?
He looks like, I'm like, don't break Captain Picard. He looks so frail.
Yeah,
he totally is reminding me of the Patrick Stewart from Logan, which he was playing old.
Yeah. Which is one of the problems that I had with, I got to say, the resolution of the end of last year, where they basically recreated an old body for him.
He's 81, so he's kind of old.
But he's playing like 90-something.
95,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which is one of the reasons, like I said, I felt like there was a better solution as opposed to doing that.
It's not his third wife, by the way.
Well, which takes years off you. I can tell you.
Or adds years to you.
So
she's 42
again.
That's why he looks so old. Frail. He's just
Good
tired.
for him.
But in any case, like I said, I actually think, I also think this is the part. This is the thing that they can tell you about. Okay, I think there's a lot more we haven't seen here. I think this may not be the entirety of the arc, so we'll see.
Well, I mean,
I
like
think
this is a very approachable concept that people can grab onto.
Borgs, time travel, 21st century. Q. They're putting everything. Why not?
And I love that you need to time travel. You go to the freezer, you take out the Borg Queen, and you just go to town.
Borg Queen, awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, from what we've gotten, from what we've seen of the new Star Trek, how many seasons of Voyager? 3 or 2? I
Discovery?
Not Voyager, whatever. Discovery.
3 that all blend into each other.
We've seen 3.
We've seen 3. They've been First season of Picard, All right, pull out the stops. Throw everything in there that everyone likes. I'm all for it because it can't get worse than what we've seen.
No,
I don't think they're
Barry, you're
I don't think
pessimistic.
the second season was as
you
bad
got a
as your
fucking shitty attitude.
No, listen, I've got all my hopes
everything.
hung on Strange New Worlds. Completely pointing all of my hopes.
So let's go to that next because to me the Picard is. What did I say? I know what I should have wrote down. It's the thing that could be just really, really bad.
Okay, so let's just say optimistic, hopefully optimistic, dubious. Are there any choices? Indifferent, I guess. Right?
After seeing that trailer, I'm optimistic. And I know they're rehashing a lot of stuff, but I'd rather see well done rehash than boring.
Yeah.
Like we say,
that's
look at
fair.
Trials and Tribulations. It is the mirror universe. It's all been done and redone, and those are always good.
Yeah,
They do,
but that
now
works
they're
really
all
well
in
as a
black
one-off
uniforms.
episode, not a 10-episode arc.
And again, we
Would you
don't
want
know.
to see 10 episodes of that?
We do
Yes,
not
I
know
do.
that that's 10 episodes, but that's the, like I said, I think that's probably a major component out of it. But so, anyways, our spectrum is indifferent. What did I say? No, it says dubious, indifferent, optimistic. Where are you, Barry?
On Picard?
Yeah.
I'll go with optimistic, but I feel like dubious.
Jesus Christ, you did not sound optimistic.
Well, I'm the
I'm
eternal
optimistic.
optimist. I want it to be good.
This
I
is
just
true. It's just like, it's a crappy idea. It's a rehash. They've done it a million times. I'm optimistic.
Oh, well, that's for Barry. That's negative
yeah,
for Barry.
that's about as negative as I get.
Add
Except
3 more levels to the scale.
I'm excited about it.
I'm
I'm
also
excited about it.
optimistic. So
I didn't even watch the trailer because I'm like, oh boy,
our
what are they
scale
doing?
needs to be dubious, indifferent, or Barry. So, yeah.
well,
I know I said 4 different things, but this is the one that could just go wrong. It's not the one that could be a freaking train wreck. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. All right, so
Well,
where do
let's
you want to
talk
go
about
next?
Strange New World.
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, Stranger New World didn't have a trailer, but it did have. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a sort of character intro.
Yeah.
Well, we've all been excited about Strange New World since we got the little bits and pieces of it in Discovery. So
yeah.
I'm totally excited about it, and they're bringing in some characters.
Interesting characters.
from the
Yeah, I mean, so they told. Yeah, obviously we knew Kirk, Spock. I'm sorry, not Kirk.
Not Kirk.
God, why
Pike.
Pike, Spock,
Spock,
and number
number
one.
one.
We knew about those 3, but so they introduced. They showed us the actress who's playing Uhura, which is cool.
Cadet Uhura, which is
Uhura.
I feel like it's a little bit of a twist in the timeline, but okay.
Why? I mean, what do we know about Nyota Uhura before we saw her on the bridge the first time?
We don't know
She
how
was a cadet somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but she was okay. If she was a cadet, wouldn't she have been in the cage?
Not everybody was on. I mean, there's 240 crew members in the cage episode, so you didn't see them all.
I saw them all.
Or
She
she
wasn't
went
among
to
them.
her second posting and came back. Again, same thing with.
She was in the bathroom.
I'm fine with it though. I'm fine.
I think it's fine.
I think for the characters that they're bringing back, and we'll go through the handful of others that they've already told us about. Like, I'm glad that she's one of them.
I am too.
Yeah.
They took 3 characters who never got enough attention in that series, and have added them, and I think that's brilliant. I really do.
I think it's I'm all on board. I'm excited about this show, and
I also find it interesting that we have a series that is 2 characters that Majel Barrett played.
Majel Barrett played 2 of them. Yeah,
I think we need to
That's so
find that
funny.
Laxwana Troy's lifespan was much longer than we knew,
And she's going to be in it.
and have they
She might show up,
recast
too.
her and have her there as like a 12-year-old or something.
And she should do the computer
And
voice.
she should
Yeah,
also
totally.
do the computer voice. Yeah.
So
Right.
Nurse
So
Chapel
Nurse
is
Chapel
there.
is going to be there, and
Her
the
hair's
actress
a little weird for my
was
taste.
British, but doesn't mean she won't be doing. Maybe she'll do a British accent, or maybe she'll do a different accent. You don't know.
Yeah.
Well, she should now. She shouldn't do a British accent.
Yeah.
Should she?
Well, but if they're taking enough liberties with things that if they wanted her to be from a different part
no,
of the
I don't
world,
think they'll
she
do
could.
that.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do that. Dr. Mbanga. Now, was he in the cage? There was that old guy was in the doctor in the cage,
Boyce.
right?
Dr. Boyce.
Boyce.
Yeah.
So but Mbanga was what in some of the early first season episodes?
Yeah, and he was at one point he was the Vulcan expert. He was the guy they brought in when Sarek was. And so he's had. I think he showed up in a handful of episodes.
I think I remember. Yeah,
And
I think that's exciting.
I
That's
think
kind
it's
of like
very
a
exciting.
periphery.
The other thing is he doesn't have to be necessarily the ship's doctor. He could be a doctor on the ship. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to be the chief doctor.
Yeah.
Because that means he got demoted when McCoy got brought on board. But they could still cast somebody else to be Philip Boyce. Yeah. But
How come they didn't bring in Lieutenant Leslie or what's that? They need him. Who's that dude who was in most? Is he like the tertiary character that was in the most episodes?
Yeah,
Probably.
but I think, again, like I said, I think using them is great. I also I do like bringing in the Andorian character. I think that's cool. Honestly, I think we have to accept the fact that Kirk is probably xenophobic, because when he was made captain, he got rid of everybody except like one Vulcan, and then just everybody else was from Earth. So
well, in the cartoons, he brought the cat
I
lady.
can see that.
he did, well, that was later though, and honestly, the cat lady's hot. So
Cat lady's very hot.
so
All right, so we got to talk about a character that they announced that I don't quite. Well, maybe it could be good, but there's a Noonien Singh character in there.
there is.
I guess that's his daughter.
Why not his mother? I mean,
Or his mother?
These people are frozen.
That's the thing. So wait. So it could be his. So okay, Khan, Ricardo Montalban, Khan Noonien Singh. Now there's a woman. I don't remember her first name.
It was Lan, Laan.
Noonien Singh. So she could very well be his great granddaughter.
Absolutely.
Great.
She could be anyone because she could have been thought out as well. Okay? She could
No,
be.
but they weren't found yet.
No, weren't found.
in this
We don't
timeline.
necessarily know that they were all on the same ship. Okay?
Todd's really making up
No,
stuff
I'm
to make
serious.
this thing.
It's like,
No.
every one
The
of his-
Botany Bay left with one batch of people.
and that's what I'm saying.
I don't think they're
It's
going to
like, I think
rewrite.
there could be people left behind. There could be, there could be. A whole
Or
lot.
she wasn't a eugenics war person.
Or she was, and she's been basically, or she was, and her, she's been, her family's kind of kept this a secret for years. This is like her
Maybe.
family's dark secret. I think,
We don't know about them
Yeah.
in this timeline.
Right.
I think she's the great granddaughter.
I think,
That's my
I think
guess.
she's a descendant. I do think she's a descendant, and I think this is like the dark family secret that Spock never apparently is clued in on because he doesn't know anything about it later.
What's also interesting, though, is that in the two other appearances of Khan, he never asks where she is.
Well, again,
does he even
Khan,
know about her?
Seriously, Khan, look at this dude.
He's power crazy.
Is this a guy that's not again? She may be his like great granddaughter, but is this a guy that comes out of hibernation and his first question is, where are my 300-year-old children? No, it's not. That's not what he's all about.
I would have thought he would. I mean, if he had lineage that he thought was still around, I think maybe he would have mentioned it.
He would have looked it up. All right. Well, it's just like
But hey, I'm excited about it. I think
Luke
it
made out
opens
with his
cool
sister, and he
possibilities.
didn't know he was making out with her.
Right. Yeah. Again, like I said, it's interesting. It's an interesting plot point. I mean, we'll see where it goes. One of the things that I'm most excited about in seeing this little kind of teaser, this intro teaser, is the costumes look freaking cool.
The costume, I wrote that
Really
down.
cool.
Kirk's shirt, and did you
Picard-
notice the little panel? Pike's shirt. They've been doing the Delta thing. Now on his shirt, it's just got the little star thing, which is cool. So I like those shirts.
That, and I think the other thing that's very cool is it's almost, if you look at this, it's almost evocative of JJ uniforms.
Yeah, totally.
With the black undershirt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
it looked cool.
But they also,
I'm glad they got away from the super formal looking thing. Those were a little too uptight.
They were a little too uptight looking. You can see lineage to that though in some of the other uniform, like the medical uniforms and stuff. So it's not like they threw everything away. Rebecca Roman seems to be wearing like an away mission jacket. She's got like
there's something
kind of zipper
in there
to it. That looks very cool. I would love to see them like pull out something similar to what they wore in the cage when they went away.
Oh, those
kind of jacket
those
things.
sort of gray jackets.
And but it's cool to see the original colors and I like. I mean, this Spock. I got to say, this Spock looks much better.
Wait, His hair is really weird.
You think
Don't
it's
you
weird?
think?
No, I think
Yeah.
they intentionally made him look a little bit younger.
His sideburns are way too long,
They're
and
definitely
then it's all
long,
sort of
but they
curly.
exaggerate a little bit, but it looks so much better than the terrible wigs that he wore in the in the short treks,
Yeah.
and then post having his beard shaved off. I think
We'll see.
yeah.
I wonder what they're going to do with phasers and communicators, if they're going to do something different that sort of has that cage look to
I
it.
gotta think they're probably going to go stay pretty close to the Discovery ones.
Yeah.
But from what they said, I watched about half of the interview that was released that same day, the panel thing. Just almost painful to watch, but the interviewer's terrible. And they said that the Enterprise is completely redone, and they've done a lot of stuff to the ship, that they've really kind of dug into who the characters are and changed some things around to suit the characters, and that one of the things they were talking about was like Pike's quarters is a little bit bigger, and it's more like almost like where they get together and have meetings and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Particularly with Uhura and the hot nurse. No, it's like, anyways, but it's yeah, I am so freaking excited.
Having
I'm
just
excited.
been
This
on
is
the
the thing
set tour again, like Kirk's bed was too small for all
was
the loving
definitely
he was
too
supposedly
small.
having.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
Yeah, what's up with that?
But again, I think that was like Kirk's official quarters. I think
He
he
had
probably had
his
some.
little-
Yeah,
he had a bachelor pad
There's a
somewhere on the
lounge.
ship.
He had a lounge
He had a lounge somewhere. It's
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's officially super optimistic and very excited about.
Yes.
Let's go to the other end of the spectrum.
Matrix.
I don't know. The Matrix. What's it called? Matrix
Resurrections.
or Resurrection.
Before we get off track, Barry, did you see the mid-season trailer for Lower Decks?
I have not seen it yet. No.
Okay. There appears to be a quick, 2-second shot of at least one of the characters in a Mirror Universe uniform.
Oh, really? I know, Dave. It's not your thing. This season of Lower Deck has been
It's
so
so
good.
freaking awesome. It's just
Really? I'll have to try to watch it.
Todd, I don't know if
love
you
it.
noticed, but they redid the opening sequence animation. They added Aztecing to the
Yeah.
Cerritos.
Oh yeah, the ship got the upgrades that they gave it at the end of the year last year, and it's just easy to do with animation. I will say, when they make the Eagle Moss version of that ship, I will buy it. it's now in canon for me.
I really feel like they've toned down some of the frantic pace of it.
Some of the annoying
Yeah.
things are.
Oh,
are
really?
gone.
The Rick and Morty they've toned down?
It's still
It-
there,
oh,
but,
yeah,
but
that
it's
was
not
that was
as
gone after the first 3 episodes.
It's not as frantic.
It's not as frantic.
Yeah.
So, my favorite thing, one of my favorite things this season so far, is how they dealt with Bormer being on Riker's ship.
Yeah. Because you knew he had to get back to the Cerritos somehow.
So they knew there was, like I said, we couldn't keep doing cutaways to this guy on this ship where he was basically terrified because Riker was the commander. He made the most rash decision in every situation.
Taking every risk possible,
And
sending
we're
the
gonna
crew
spoil
down
it
on
for you,
away
Dave, 'cause
missions
this
that they
is-
weren't
this is
prepared
just,
for.
Just awesome. Transporter clone.
Yeah. So now there's 2 of him floating around.
So one of them,
and they sent
one of
him
them
back
stays
because he's the more
behind,
boring one.
and the more boring one
Nice.
gets demoted and sent back to gets sent back to Cerritos. It's perfect. It was a perfect solution. So,
All right, I'll try to
Yeah,
watch
there's
it.
been a lot of good stuff in there.
yeah, it really is.
All right, so back from Matrix Resurrection. Now, as you know, I take notes. I literally wrote down one thing about this trailer. I think the cinematography looks fantastic. It almost had a Blade Runner-esque feel to me. And again, I'm not comparing it to Blade Runner. I'm just saying the scope and the cinematic feel of this trailer. I feel like they really swung for the fences from a look and feel perspective. I don't have any idea what's going on in the story based on this trailer.
I don't either, which could be a good thing. And again, this is the kind of,
So,
Matrix,
okay, Brady,
The Matrix
do you think
is...
he has somehow been convinced that like his entire Matrix experience was like a psychic break, and now this.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing I don't know. So there's The Matrix. Was that in our top movies? It should be. Matrix is a groundbreaking,
it was in
great
mine, yeah.
movie. Awesome. Do we have to even have any clue of what went on in the second two to watch this movie? That's what
They
I'm
haven't
afraid of.
officially said it.
I've done my best to erase them from my mind.
But I don't know what even went on at the end of those.
They haven't
I have
said
no
it, but
clue.
I have a feeling that this is one of those, you can pretend those movies never existed and still, if you've seen The Matrix, you can watch this
I kind
movie.
of think so too, Barry. And I think, like I said, I think they're doing something like he's back in it, he's back inside, and they've managed to for decades suppress, what he knew, and maybe make him think he was, like I said, it was psychic break or something like that, and yeah, because
or sometimes he's got to go back in. I don't remember what happened. I hope I don't need to know what those. I think there's a video on YouTube that's like the Matrix sequels in 5 minutes. They could literally tell you. I happened to come across that, so I'll try to watch
There's
that.
a lot of rave parties and dancing in those two movies.
Oh, so bad.
Slow motion
This
dancing.
could be great. I don't know. I think
this
could
looks
be
very stylish.
This is the train.
Yeah.
This could be the train wreck, as far as I'm concerned. It could be the worst movie ever. But if we get The Matrix with John Wick in it, I'm all in.
That's my other thing. It's like he's clearly rocking the John Wick look.
Well, that's what he looks like now.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I mean, couldn't he shave the beard off for this? I mean, seriously.
Well, sure, they could have also given him the Neo haircut again.
With that character. Okay.
Maybe he was like, "Look, I'm not cutting my John Wick hair to make your crappy Matrix movie."
I'm not giving
You want to?
up-
If you
I'm
want to
not
write me a
giving
check
up
for
the
$10
money
million,
look
that
to make
doesn't
another freaking
include
Matrix
me.
film. So
And I don't say this
it's-
lightly. I'm actually excited that I can watch this on HBO Max and I don't have to go to a theater.
Oh,
to
I
see
know.
it.
okay,
Very
so that's
exciting.
the other thing. That's the other thing is it's probably
You
a
don't have to do the
calculated
movie swear.
effort that a certain number of people will watch it thinking it's a John Wick film.
That could be too.
And what's interesting, and I don't know the whole backstory of this, but the two Wachowski siblings are not involved. Only one of them is. Which is weird.
Lana.
I don't know what the deal with that is.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay, moving on.
I felt like I need to watch the trailer again. I didn't really understand what was
I've
going
watched
on.
it 3 times because I
didn't like the guy who made believe he was Morpheus. Like, why couldn't you get the real Morpheus? He's still alive.
I get the feeling that that's Matrix Morpheus and that eventually... See, they haven't said whether Fishburne's in it or not.
Yeah, interesting.
Just like they haven't said if...
It was cool that Carrie Moss is in it. I wasn't sure where they were going to go
I'm
with that.
hoping that what's his name? That Hugo Weaving's in it. I don't know if he's in it.
I don't think he is.
I think you could go with... I like him, but I think you could go with like another generic
I
sort
think
of...
you should hire Ross
bad guy.
Marquand to do Hugo Weaving's role. And
That would
should
be
just
pretty funny, actually.
His job for the rest of his life is to do cleanup for Hugo Weaving.
Yeah,
walking away
replace
from
Hugo
roles.
Weaving in everything. In all sequels.
Yep. So
Interesting.
I could do the voice. I could do that one. So, yep.
So, again, end of this year, HBO Max. Don't gotta leave your chair.
I'll be there. You've got the home theater. I've got the big 75-inch TV. I mean, I'm looking forward to
I'll be
watching
there.
it. I'm
That'll
just
be
hoping
the Christmas
I'm not,
movie.
like, sadly
Hopefully
disappointed.
not as disappointing as the last Christmas
I
movie.
manage a small theater. I could do this. So,
All right, so last on our hit list is Hawkeye.
Last is Die Hard. I mean, Hawkeye.
Yeah,
It's
you know, it's
very
funny because
evocative
I
of Die
watched
Hard,
a
isn't it?
YouTube video today. There's a YouTube channel that I follow called New Rockstars where they break trailers down and stuff. And he actually also said that there was some... He saw some Die Hard references or...
There's which is not a bad thing.
No.
I'm not putting down Hawkeye. I think it looks great. I'm excited. I think it has, at least in the trailer, it's got this sort of a little bit of lightness to it. I doubt the whole series is that. It looks like it's, it takes place in New York. Haley Steinfeld is great. Jeremy Renner's great. It has a lot of potential. My biggest fear is maybe except for WandaVision, everything's sort of missed the mark with Marvel shows.
I think it's going. I don't know what the mark was, but I think this looks good. It's definitely, it leans into that Hawkeye comic from about 7 or 8 years ago. In fact, you even see the Russian guys in there, the bro guys.
The bro guys, yeah.
The guys in the tracksuits. So I think there's going to be that because...
Who all work for Kingpin, by the way, and that's why they're saying that there's a good likelihood that...
And so both versions of Hawkeye were in that story. I think this looks good. I wonder whether the trailer is Die Hard themed versus the show.
I think it is.
No, but I'm saying versus the show being Die Hard themed. I think they might have leaned into that for familiarity because I don't think any of these shows have been exactly what we've expected.
No.
And
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a very dark trailer next.
Yeah.
Because, when Hawkeye was sort of doing this stuff, he was in a really bad spot.
The other thing, too, is like he's not with his family, okay? He's living on his own with his kids.
No, he left his
kids are visiting.
What?
Well, so
is that true?
The video that I watched today breaks down and tries to guesstimate where this is in the timeline. According to them, it's the first Christmas post-Endgame, which put it in December 2023, a month after WandaVision.
Yeah, what I think
Why would he not be with his family? I thought he was like, hey, we're having Christmas.
I think he's like not ready to reintegrate. I think he's like, because of all the like violence and stuff like this, I think he's doing some chilling. And
I didn't get that.
What's that?
I didn't get that from this. I got it that he's with them, but they sucked him back in, basically.
Well, but it seemed like because his daughter says to him, first Christmas we've been together in a long time because they're back from the blip.
Yeah.
And he puts them in a van and sends them away, right?
Right.
So he sends them away because they were with him.
But
he's like,
Linda Cardinale doesn't show up in this trailer at all, so maybe she's
not. I think
not there, or maybe
they
she
are
just
like separated either temporarily or whatever. And I think he's doesn't again this guy went down a violent dark road for half a decade, and I think this is part of his readjustment. He's
that's why I think this is not going to be as lighthearted as we're
saying. I'm saying,
which is fine and good,
and also watched pretty much his best friend die for him. So, it's I think this
Can we just spend a minute talking about Rogers the musical?
That's the best.
And I love that they made the front of the theater.
Avengers the musical.
No, it's called Rogers.
In the trailer,
it says Rogers
Broadway,
the musical.
There's Rogers the musical.
I thought it said Avengers the musical.
No, it's Rogers the musical, and it's done to look like Hamilton. It's like the same color scheme as the Hamilton.
Okay, yep. Oh, that's great. I thought I honestly thought that said Avengers when it pinned.
No, and there's a scene at one point where they show like the actors on stage, and I freeze framed it, and you can pick out everybody. I mean, they're all there. Every single Avenger is there.
Far. Wow, I got to do that.
That's great.
So funny.
I mean, I'm saying there are actors on the stage portraying all of them. You've got somebody in a green outfit to be Hulk. They've got an Iron Man. And it's funny because it's all of them, even people that weren't together in the Battle of New York. So Ant-Man's there, and
again,
there's a couple of Chitaris.
Hey, Hamilton wasn't like completely faithful to history either, but
right. No, but those sequences look hilarious.
Yeah.
If it's like a 30-second thing that we see that. I'm hoping Chris Evans plays the lead in the thing.
Well,
that would be
Thor
awesome
character
cameo.
And if you freeze frame it, the Thor actually looks like it could be Chris Evans with a beard and a blonde wig.
That would be even better.
Yeah, it looks like him. Kind of does.
I think they need to get all the actors from Ragnarok to play.
From the play
to play the Asgardians. Yes.
Yeah. So Matt Damon to play Loki.
Yep. And Sam Neill to play
play
the Odin.
And
Yeah. So,
I mean, I'm excited. I think that trailer. I think it's going to be dark, and I think it's going to have humor, and I think it's going to have action. But
I agree on the dark, and I think that's why I think they're looking at the trailer's looking to lighten it up a little bit, lighten the tone. So,
Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been a layup, and they missed it. I'm worried about this.
Yeah.
You know, this looks like it's like everything you want. It's Christmas. It's action. It's him killing bad guys. It's a new young Hawkeye girl. All good, but you know, I think they missed the mark on that. Some of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's concerning. So
we shall see, and we don't have to wait that long to find out. Which is exciting.
November. So Hawkeye's November. Matrix is December. Picard is February.
Yep. Strange New Worlds is
Strange New Worlds
unannounced.
Is sometime next year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and Discovery comes back in November too, doesn't it?
November.
Yeah.
November. Wait. Yeah. No, they're saying 2 Star Treks will be on at the same time.
Right.
One of which is Prodigy, which is middle of October.
I'm not watching that. I'm drawing a line in the sand right now, and I'm doing it on the show so that there's witnesses. I'm not watching Prodigy.
Okay.
Are you watching the anime Star Wars?
No. I'll probably watch one episode.
That's a bigger line.
I'll probably watch an episode and see if I can tolerate
it. Barry, turn off your earphones for just a second. He's going to watch all of it. You know he's going to watch all of it.
So, are we done talking about these trailers?
What?
Are we done talking about the trailers?
I think we're done talking. Unless you want to talk about Don't Look Up, a comet hitting the Earth comedy with Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio.
No.
Can't miss.
But
yeah. So I just wanted to mention, because I also saw this and I screenshot this. Officially, Disney Plus announced all the Star Wars TV that's coming. They don't say what the dates are for all of it, but
I saw that.
We were just talking about what's coming in November and December. So they're saying what's interesting is they give how many episodes each one of these shows is going to be. So Book of Boba Fett, it says starting in December, and it's 8 episodes. Cassian Andor show's 12 episodes. That surprised me.
They don't say when that is.
They don't say when. Bad Batch season 2, 16 episodes. Okay, that's animated. That makes sense. And by the way, I don't know if you finished it, Todd, but it was really good. It ended well. Obi-Wan is 6 episodes, which we knew. There's a Lego TV movie in there, which nobody cares about. Mandalorian season 3, 8 episodes, which has been the same as all the rest of them.
Yeah.
And they're saying Disney Gallery is going to be 4 episodes. So I'm guessing there's going to be a Book of Boba Fett gallery, an Andor gallery, an Obi-Wan gallery, and a Mando gallery.
Yeah.
Did either of you go back and watch the new gallery episode that came out about the finale for?
Yeah, that was good.
It was good.
That was exciting. Did you watch it? Yeah, that was definitely worth watching.
I noticed the holiday special's not mentioned in there.
Well, the Lego Star Wars special is the one I skipped. Yeah, but
when are they doing that? Is that this year?
I thought it was this year.
Yeah, there's going to be it's a Lego holiday special, right?
Oh no, we saw that was supposed last year.
Oh, there's a Halloween special coming up, I think.
Okay.
No, there was a Star Wars holiday special.
They're supposed to be doing a Star Wars holiday special.
Or did they do it last year?
Well, no, they did a Lego one last year. I think the one you're talking about is for next. It's not for this year. It's for next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this fourth quarter, we're gonna have Hawkeye. We're gonna have Discovery. I just hit my mic. Sorry. We're gonna have Boba Fett. All sort of on the air at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Anything else?
So really, we're getting Boba Fett instead of Mando.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had said that.
And I mean, there were people actually filming Boba Fett that thought they were in Mandalorian season 3. So, yeah.
So that's a lot going on. We're gonna have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I think 22 is going to actually have a lot of really good stuff. So,
that's exciting. Because I'm sort of out of stuff to watch. I mean, we probably should look through the fall TV season as if anyone cares. I don't know if there's ever even anything worth looking at, but
yeah,
Ted Lasso's on for a couple more episodes, right?
So good, love that show.
The morning show comes back. I know that's not our genre, but I do I did enjoy that.
Well, Below Deck
When's
Mediterranean has been
Foundation?
excellent this season.
The who?
Below Deck Mediterranean.
When's Foundation coming?
That's coming soon too.
Yeah.
Does that have a
It's got to
date?
be soon.
Anyway,
I thought it was
lots of
this fall.
stuff. Could be. Let us know if you saw that. What do you think? What are you excited about? It'd be great if they're all good. I'm so optimistic about that.
You are eternally optimistic.
Whatever. All right, are we going What's in the Box? Let's go What's in the Box.
Let's do it.
Show you with the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Todd, what do you got?
Okay, so as we were talking about Picard earlier, hang on a second here. If I can do this without dropping it. I got a couple Eagle Moss ships. I got La Serena. Okay. Actually is a very interesting ship, very interesting design. I'm currently listening to the most recent Picard book, which is really focused on this ship and the acquisition of the ship and Rios. I'm really enjoying the book. Actually, it's anyways. But the ship makes a lot more sense when they explain why it's designed the way it is, it's still pretty odd looking, and it's got a very weird paint job that no one has yet referenced what it's obviously based on.
How is he not like in one scene listening to Van Halen?
That
Just
it has
in
not
the
happened
background?
yet,
I don't get it.
but we'll hopefully.
I kind
we'll
of
get
gave up on buying Eagle Moss ships just because I own a lot of them and don't have almost any of them on display anymore. But I feel like I need that one.
You kind of do
Because of the
need
paint
that one.
job.
Yeah, you do. It's very cool, and I got to say, it looks very different than it reads on screen because so much of it's painted black. You don't see it, and but anyways, and the other one I got is from Picard, and I think I showed you guys too. I love from the original series. I love the Romulan Warbird Bird of Prey. This is basically a update of that. And they did a terrific job with it. And because the problem is the Bird of Prey was a very simple model. It was a very, very simple model. And even the digital versions of it in the remastered, it's really, really lacks detail. I think this is very, very appropriate. They just, they flared the Bussard collectors out a little bit, and they did some Aztecing, and it's, like I said, I think it looks great.
It was always a simple model, but that freaking bird painted on the bottom was what made it so awesome.
It was just made it awesome.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think this updated it, translated. You could say this is a later model, with some refinements. So it's not the 57 Chevy, it's the 59 Chevy or something like that. But it's still very evocative of the same ship. That they kept the dimensions very, very similar. And I absolutely love this. So, anyways, that's that.
That one's cool.
And they match the profile like perfectly, and really, really cool. So
they've
Dave,
done a
what do you
good
got?
job in general of update. I mean, even the new Enterprise design, I like that it's similar, but they did some nice updating on it. I mean, nothing will ever touch the original Matt Jeffries design, but they were
they all exist
deferential in all
because
the
of
right
that,
places.
Barry, I agree. They all exist because, and nothing compares to that. But I think this is the prettiest Enterprise design. I really do. The current one, I think they stole from every iteration a little bit, and it works. It works really well. Dave, what do you got?
Okay, yeah, I'm uploading.
You want me to go, and then we can end with you?
Yeah, you can go if you want.
All right, so I'm going to stick on the Star Trek theme. I've got two things, just like Todd did. I think we talked about this in an episode or two ago. I did get my Captain Kirk sitting in the chair. Funko Pop.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
He is cool. I mean, I don't do a ton of Funkos, but when I saw this one, and we say this all the time, that they managed to, with no expression on the face whatsoever, capture likenesses in a way that I'm just shocked that they can do. And the pose that they've got him in with the hand under the chin and sitting in a chair, it's just awesome. So, cheap but fun. The other one, I don't think we talked about on the show, but we were texting about. This just came today. I did order the Migo Kang Klingon figure.
Oh, that's great. That looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
and he's actually got a real Klingon disruptor. Like, they actually tooled a new gun.
Oh, wow.
To look like the Klingon disruptor and from the original series, which is really cool. I don't know if you can see that in the package there with the shiny lights.
Yeah.
But they did a great job on this guy. I mean, the likeness on the face is very, very good to the actor from the series. They updated
and the
uniform.
Costume looks just as cheesy as it looked in the series. That's great.
But they could have just used the regular Klingon uniform, but they updated it. I mean, I think...
How is the costume? Because they've been not great on these new Migos.
I think you're right on most of them, but like they did a great job on the Romulan ambassador. They did a great job on this guy. Like, I think... And I was saying to you when we were texting about it, and we were texting with Daryl, like, I'm only getting the ones that are like new characters that I actually think that did a good job on from the original series. So I've built a very confined place for myself to play, so I'm not just buying everything. But yeah, this guy, I mean, he's going to look great with all the original series Migos from, the 70s all the way up. So again, another inexpensive. I think this was $20 shipped.
It's interesting. So. This is actually a different thing because I mean the original Migos were based on the animated series.
Yeah.
And if you doubt that for a second, look at the Klingon, because the Klingon is exactly the animated series. It does not look like the Klingons from the series. It looks like the Klingons from the animated series.
The only thing they could have done better is on the picture on the back of the box shows him with the big knife, but he doesn't come with that big knife. He just comes with the... But actually, I really do like that they went and tooled the Klingon phaser. So
no, that's terrific.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
And if you need the blue djinn to go with your genie figure, you could use it's the same actor and her husband.
Yep. Exactly. All right, Dave. Tell us what you got.
I uploaded pictures for you guys. So I don't think we talked about it. I know we didn't. Back in the last Props Are auction, I actually bid on and won what we're calling the chicken skewers. In Indiana Jones' Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones picks up a skewer with 3 chickens on it and kills a guy with it. And that was in the auction. And I won that auction. I was waiting to A, get it, and B, I had a little, I don't want to say restoration, but I had a little preservation. That's the word. Preservation done by our pal Tom Spina. And because it was 40-year-old, 90, whatever. Very old foam that needed to be sealed and touched up a bit, so I had him do it. And I just picked it up Friday. I'll put pictures on the website when we do that. And I'm building a display, so I now am the proud owner of Indiana Jones chicken skewer that's going to hang in my movie room.
That's awesome.
They look a little dark here in these pictures. They're much more brown than they are in these pictures. They look a little black here, but they basically are 3 burnt chickens and a skewer.
At some point, I need a photo of that being stuck into my chest.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think we all need that.
Yeah, that's going to have to be like our Facebook profile photos or something.
Yep.
So, yeah, and this is just these pictures. I'm just playing around with backgrounds. I think I'm going to go with the multicolored one to sort of be evocative of not only On Fire, but the Indiana Jones logo colors.
Yeah, Dave needs a white dinner jacket, and then just, Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
we were all surprised when you told us you bought it. We actually thought you were kidding. And then
I was a little surprised too.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Also, he had told us previously a couple days earlier that he bought something else, which I thought for like 24 hours. So.
Right, but the funny thing was that we all realized that you were serious, but I don't think Todd did. So when we were talking,
again, because you said you bought the jacket, and I said I thought you were doing the same thing.
But yeah, it's cool.
It was one of those things where I set a limit. I went doubled that limit, and then I went over that, and I just was like, I'm just gonna go one more bid, hoping I was gonna get outbid by Deb. But I'm happy to have them. I mean, this stuff went for crazy money. The dart that from the Raiders of the Lost Ark went for like $7,000. So small pieces, and I do feel like the good thing is, you see this, and at least you see a picture of what it was. There's no mistaking. Like, oh my God, yes, I do remember that scene.
I mean, we are minor scale prop collectors compared to some of the people we've seen, but this is one of the universes that you want. You You wanted an
Yes.
indie thing. You wanted a Marvel thing. Check. You want a Star Trek,
Star Wars thing,
Star Wars
Star
thing.
Trek thing.
Yep. And
Aliens.
and,
Right.
and-
And I do
No.
think, especially now that you've had the rest, the preservation done, it's only going to go up in value. I mean, I saw it. I saw, because I went with you to deliver them to Tom, and I saw the condition that they were in. And if you didn't have that work done, 10 years from now, they'd be falling apart.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you did the right thing. They
10
look
minutes
great.
from now. No, he did a good job. Really preserved them, got them back to what they should be in the original, and that's what he does. He is the preeminent restorer, preservationist in this business. So I'm glad we know him and was able to get him to do it. Very cool. So once that's hanging up, I'm hoping I could maybe finish it this weekend. I'm waiting on one part. I actually had that color thing printed out by Vistaprint on vinyl, sticky vinyl. So we'll see. And then I had bought the lucite thing, which is perfect.
Oh,
So,
it looks good.
anyway.
I'm glad that you went with that. I know I was helping kick around some ideas with you, and I think that was probably the way to
and
go.
I could always change it out, which is if it gets a little weird, it's tough to. The black just totally doesn't work, as you can see from those pictures.
Yeah.
It's too much. But you'll see those on the website. So
That's awesome.
that's what's in the box. Any last thoughts? Huh? I know you were like, I didn't ask last time. I'm asking this time.
Maybe we just quickly mention Norm Macdonald and Ed Asner both passed. We didn't talk about Ed Asner
Nope.
last time. Obviously a legend, and then this week Norm Macdonald, which I was surprised. I mean,
Just yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had cancer for a long time. He's a funny dude.
yeah, I thought he was very
and
funny.
a lot of Twitter outreach. I mean, he's also one of those sort of comedians. It's like people in the business probably appreciate it more than regular people.
yes.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. He is
Yeah.
alleged to have been David Letterman's favorite guest.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
I think Burt Reynolds hated him because he did a very funny Burt Reynolds
Really good Burt Reynolds
impersonation.
I actually think the best tribute to him was from Bob Dole today, who
Oh, yeah.
who he did Bob Dole, and he did Bob Dole doing referring to himself as Bob Dole, and he wrote, and Bob Dole wrote, Bob Dole will miss Norm Macdonald. And,
Oh, that's so
and,
funny. But honestly,
Yep.
that's a good dude. He has a good sense
Yep.
of humor.
So
That's funny.
Yep.
So, next week, we have no idea. Right? Maybe fall season stuff. I have no idea what's
we
coming
got
out.
some
I should
shows. We
know.
got some shows we got to catch up on. So
We figured out this show in advance, which was a good thing. So we'll figure something out for next week.
Yeah.
We are in the first busy couple of weeks of school for me, so there's not a lot of communication going on, but we made it work. So
Well, we're communicating. You're just
Titans.
not responding, but it's okay.
that's not
understand.
really communicating. So
We've
Maybe Titans in the Star Trek
that's
auction next
what.
week.
Yeah. We'll see.
we'll talk about whether we get anything in the Star Trek auction next week.
I don't mind saying it now because the auction is over after this has
This
been
is
released.
true.
So there is a Star Trek prop store auction that ends tomorrow. We will be attempting to buy some stuff.
Yes, we
hopefully
have
not.
Designs on
The chicken incident won't be repeated. Let's hope not.
We're all going to be wearing this horrible Klingon costumes on the next podcast.
there'll be no skewering. Yep.
Yeah.
If only there was a skewer of meat in this auction, Dave. You'd have a new collecting.
That
I
could
may-
be your
I
theme.
may-
That could be your theme.
That could be my thing. I don't want that to be my thing.
Well, they do say
I
that
do
tribbles
think-
taste like chicken. So
That's
They
right.
do. There's all meat under the fur.
Yep.
Ugh.
A bowl of gach. Yep.
Anyway,
and I'll be
what
back
other
in my
skewers are
proper
there?
office, hopefully, for the next podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we'll see you next week, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.